Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Go Math Podcast with me, Julia Farhana.
And with me, Sanjna Suri.
Did you guys know, according to a psychologist, key signs of false positivity are avoidance, dishonesty, and naiveness. We tend to use false positivity to avoid a painful truth or to pretend we're fine when we're not. We also use it often subconsciously, so that makes a lot of sense, to mentally and emotionally detach from what might be a very serious situation that needs properly addressing. Now, I had a first hand experience with this. I was at an event and I remember clearly seeing the senior actress. She was absolutely gorgeous. She had this beautiful features and I admired her beauty, although her makeup did not do justice to her natural beauty. Her makeup was a bit cakey and it was a bit gray for her complexion. But I was like, you know what? I can still see her natural beauty through it, so it's okay. It's fine. Then suddenly comes like a younger actress complimenting her makeup. And I thought, is it just me? Am I not seeing the difference, or is there something wrong with my eyes? But it's really cakey. And I believe that the actress who has this makeup on her would feel the same. She knows that her makeup is not great. I would know because if before I leave the house, I would look at myself in the mirror and I would know that, oh, I'm not looking great, but I don't have time to redo my makeup. So you know what? I'll wing it. But to actually compliment someone on something that doesn't look good on them, is that false positivity?
Yeah, like for me, I just don't buy false positivity and fake compliments. In fact, fake people are kind of my pet peeve. I've had people complimenting me on certain things where I know it's not the truth. I just know. I don't know if they kind of want me to believe that way so I wouldn't look good or they just trying to jaga my hati. But personally, I personally think I would appreciate an honest remark or an honest comment because at least I can improve myself. If you have my best interest at heart, you should be honest with me. And sometimes it could be nak jaga hati ke atau just tak nak offend, but I think there's always a way for you to say things in a better way, but not lying about it. And speaking of fake compliments and false positivity, our guest today is no stranger to these things, I believe. Starting her career as a news anchor in 2017, she has gained a lot of attention for being associated to one of her seniors, especially in the looks department. But over the years, she has marked her foot in the industry with her exceptional hosting and acting skills and has since starred in dramas, movies, and is most popular for being the host of Meletop and Wanita Hari Ini. A beautiful woman I've always remembered for her beautiful smile and her charismatic personality, Hawa Rizwana.
Welcome,
Hi, thank you for
Hawa.
having me
Oh,
today.
we love
I'm
For
wearing
being
pink.
here. You
Yes.
totally fit the Girl Math
Yes,
podcast, girl.
Girl
This
Math
is too
Podcast.
cute. This is too cute. You girls are
you.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
I know you're not wearing sunscreen. You do know repeated sun exposure with little to no protection is going to cause damage to elastin, collagen, and skin cells. Do you know what that means?
But Julia, tennis was your idea.
Wearing sunscreen every day will prevent inflammation from UV rays.
But Julia, swimming was your idea.
Not without sunscreen. It is clean, uses plant-based ingredients, and good for all skin, especially sensitive skin. Your makeup with SPF is not enough. You have to use a lot more makeup to actually reach the label SPF. Use this. Its hydrating formula is going to give you a very dewy base. Trust me!
Julia, leave me alone.
Please, sun protection factor SPF protects you from a specific ultraviolet light called UVB.
But Julia, most of the sunscreen makes my skin sticky and I look grey.
Not Melissa. It is invisible with no white cast or a greasy residue. Won't leave your skin grey either. This is the vegan AirFit sunscreen with SPF 50+. This invisible ultralight facial sunscreen protects the skin from UV rays and pollution. Infused with nutrient-rich kale extract, the plant-derived formula delivers SPF 50+ protection while helping to moisturize and soothe the skin. The non-greasy, fast-absorbing texture keeps the skin hydrated with a matte finish.
You either wear this or haunt you for the rest of your life.
So thank you so much for being with us, Hawa.
Thank
Sebelum tu
you.
nak tanya, is there anything that I missed out in my introduction, or is there anything you would like to share to the audience?
That's too sweet. That's too kind.
Really? I think I
Yes.
missed out a lot.
I know lah. I mean, in the industry, I've been in the industry since 2017. I started as an intern in Wanita Hari Ini. And then during my internship, I was offered to go through auditions as a news anchor. And long story short, I was offered to join TV9, TV9 as the journalist and anchor. And a year after, I joined TV3. And 2 years later, 3 years later, end of 2020, this is 4, 3, okay, end of 2022, I was offered to join Malatop. And right now I'm doing few shows in Astro. So that's my journey so far. It has been almost 7 years.
Wow.
I started when I was 22. So
Everybody
since
knows your age
yes, yes. Since it's girl math, so I don't mind.
You do the math or don't.
Yeah.
And clearly, it's not stopping anytime soon. You're just going to go further and further in this. whole
Hopefully,
scene, right?
hopefully.
Because
Yeah.
I've actually watched a few of your podcast interviews. So we pretty much know your background. We pretty much know how you started. And I'm sure everybody knows your background. Those who follows Howell, of course, I'm sure they know how you started and why you started, how you actually didn't plan to be in the entertainment industry.
Yes,
You
exactly.
were always aiming for news anchor and the news industry. So how was that transition for you? And how did you open up to accept the entertainment industry?
My goodness. Like you said, I never planned. I mean, it's not that I never plan at all, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have high hopes or high expectations over anything because usually whenever you do have high expectations, you turn up to be disappointed. Bila you tak dapat what you really wanted or expected kan. So during my internship, my plan was to pursue my master's right away and to become a lecturer. But when I was offered and I asked my lecturers in UiTM, they said kerja dulu for at least a year. And then that's what I did. And I'm glad I worked for, I think after a year and a half, then I pursued my master's while working. So I had to sacrifice my work as a journalist and I continue my career as an anchor. And then Wanita Hari Ini offered and Hello Doctor and Bulletin FM. So it was more flexible for me because as a journalist, you work tak tentu masa.
Yeah.
So I did Bulletin Utama. So I have to be in the office in the studio since 4 p.m. to do the news. And during the day, it can start as early as 7. So I hate to miss class, but I'm grateful for my lecturers. Because each lecturer, they ajar dua class, part-time and full-time.
Right.
So whenever I have class whenever I have to read the news during the night, I cakap, can I join the full-time class tomorrow morning? So they're very
Right,
open
very
and flexible.
flexible, right.
Yeah.
And
so
which
I'm grateful
university was
for that.
this?
Sorry?
Which university was this?
UiTM. Foundation, degree, masters, all in UiTM. Because my father was a lecturer there. He taught broadcasting.
Right.
So
what
that's
did
what
you
I was
pursue
only sorry,
in education
journalism.
until your master's.
My master's was more general. It was masters of mass communication.
Right.
Yeah, so advertising, PR, international relations, all in during the 2 years of study.
And you've completed your master's, right?
yes,
Congratulations.
thank
You
you.
with brains indeed.
I know
Exactly.
lah.
So
know
much
lah.
so that I want to know, because you mentioned that you don't plan. You don't plan out your career, which is very interesting to me because both of us are the complete opposites. And I think like a lot of us generally in the entertainment industry would plan, and we would have like a goal, a certain character that we want to play, or there's always a plan. And the reason why we have a plan is because we know that time wise we're not, time is not on our side, especially as an actress, because you kind of have an expiry date.
True.
But for your career, you don't really have an expiry date. You can be a TV host until you're 60 if you're able to, right?
I hope so. I really hope
I mean,
so.
like, as long
I'm not
as
sure if
people-
it's the same for a woman.
Good
To be
one.
honest, even as an actor, you
Yeah.
do not really have an expiry date, lah, unless you're
For
okay
the
to
lead
do
roles,
like
though.
different roles.
Yes,
for like
I'm
yes.
lead
like
roles, yeah.
specifically for the lead
Yeah.
roles,
Yeah, that's true.
specifically for like the one that everybody's aiming for.
Betul.
But how did you even start out? Like as you were like about to like select the course that you want to study in your like childhood, was there ever an interest from a young age to be in front of the camera?
I'm the only daughter of three siblings.
Right.
I have an elder brother and younger brother, middle child.
Right.
But growing up, my father lah, bila kecil-kecil dulu, he likes to take videos, the camcorder tu kan. And I was really talkative when I was a child. And so I remember this one video. My mom just delivered my brother. And then my father ambil video and then I said, okay, this is my baby brother Amza and I want to song a sing. And then my father
song a
I want to song a sing. And then my father said, sing a song, sing a song. I want to sing a song for my baby brother. So
cute.
yeah, so there were many videos of us siblings and then I studied in Perlis dulu for 5 years, sekolah rendah. And every time whenever he fetched me from school, dalam kereta there will be few newspapers, English and Malay. Utusan Berita Harian, Star News, Straits Times, semualah. So he asked me to read out loud.
Oh,
So whenever
I
there
see
are
where this
English
is
or Malay
going.
words yang I tak faham or I pronounce it wrongly, he would correct me.
Right.
So I think that's how
It
indirectly
developed,
he
right.
developed me.
Yeah.
And as simple as whenever we're in restaurants, he would ask me to go to the cashier and bayar and panggil the waiters or waitress to order. So I think confidence, that's how he trained.
Wow,
Now
that's
I just
amazing.
realized lah, come to think of
Right?
it.
He was
Yeah.
like he made it happen juga lah kan.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
memupuk that thing in you.
Yeah. Because you know what I realized about having conversations with girls in the industry or sometimes guys, and I realized that, being a psychologist, so that's how my brain works. Thought process is like, where did this come from? Where did this conditioning started? When did this, I'm very curious, like, there has to be like a starting point. And then now you realize like, hey, yeah, I've always read the news when I was a kid. My father always have developed this confidence in me through these activities or these exercises or these tasks. So I feel like it's very intriguing. It's like to get to know a person from how they started. Because of course we know Hawa and her career development. We know that from Google, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, what's that? My own
Wikipedia.
Wiki. I never use that, so that's why I'm like unfamiliar.
Just
until
use
I've done this
Wiki.
podcast. Yeah, Wiki, guys. Just Wiki. Just
Wiki.
Like, I'm often on Google because at least there's research papers, articles. So it's more.
Yes.
I'm not saying that Wiki is not credible.
Yeah.
However, sometimes there are,
If we can edit our own.
exactly.
Yeah.
Orang
Yeah.
bercangga.
I'm gonna edit mine.
Yeah. Yeah, so my age is not accurate in case you guys didn't know, but
is.
I'm gonna leave it like that. So yeah, that's how I'm like very interested in how this developed into this character that you've become today.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about this off record. As a local, you have extremely fluency in English.
Aw, really?
Yes. So much so we thought it was your first language.
Exactly. And then would you love to share how that happened? Like, was it always your primary language at home, or how did you practice, especially?
I get that a lot, surprisingly, because I don't think my English is that flawless, that perfect. But growing up, I watched Disney. I was a Disney kid, and I watched Barney, Sesame Street, and I think those do we say movies? No, right? TV shows.
Cartoons.
those
cartoons
TV
also.
shows, cartoons,
And I
series.
think how my father trained me as well. And I love to read Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss books and Enid Blyton. I really loved to read back then. Yeah, now I don't read much anymore. I only listen to YouTube videos
Right.
because of the time, I think.
Yeah, time constraint.
Yeah, Harry Potter. So those are the movies.
Right.
So you think you picked up your English from there?
I think so. I think
And
so.
who drove you to have like interests in these selections? Was it your parents too?
Mm, Mass communication, it was my father. Journalism,
Right.
because I wanted to. Okay, I have too many ambitions. Fashion
We all
designer.
do.
Yeah.
We all
Right,
do.
right.
You know the series Law and Order?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's my favorite series. So I wanted.
Me too.
Right.
Oh my goodness, that's the first time in Malaysia somebody loves Law and
Oh,
Order.
really? Yeah, me
Yeah,
too. They're on Netflix right now.
they are.
Yes,
I'm gonna catch up, babe. I'm not
but
seeing it
certain
tonight.
seasons, je, but most on Prime Video. And
Mm.
I wanted to become a lawyer lah when I
Ooh,
watched Law and
that's
Order.
one thing we have in common.
Really?
Yeah, so we spoke about this in the season, one of the episodes,
Uh-huh.
our three top choices of career, right? One of them was a lawyer for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
And?
Police.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't remember the third one. I think it was a doctor or
Wow. What about you?
It's always been an actor, but my parents didn't allow me to write that. So it was
Uh-huh.
a doctor, lawyer, and the last case they gave me penshara. At least had the chance to speak.
Oh, wow.
Tapi it was really not my cup of tea, any of those.
Parents.
Yeah.
So, my father was a lecturer and my mother was a teacher. And almost all of my mom's siblings are teachers. So she wanted me to be a lecturer lah.
oh wow.
Yeah, but my father is more, because he was a broadcasting punya lecturer.
Right, he was in the industry juga kan?
For a while,
Right.
yeah, part-time.
Okay.
Sama pagi Malaysia and RTM. So he's more open, I would say,
Yeah.
in terms of options.
Mm.
So when I said I wanted to pursue my degree in law, he said, nak kerja apa sebenarnya ni? So I was watching How I Met Your Mother. So Robin was,
Yep.
Right.
yeah, was the favorite. So I said, nak jadi broadcast journalist lah. And then he said, then don't kill yourself in law school. Sebab belajar
Genius.
belajar law for 4 years and then you nak jadi
Yeah.
broadcast journalist. And then okay lah. And then I studied journalism. And then the interest dah semakin berkurang as I learn.
Yeah.
Lepas tu, okay, tak apalah intern. Bila intern dapat pula kerja yang you dah slowly hilang interest.
Right.
And I wasn't really prepared to be on TV.
Right.
Yeah. Those first 4 months lah, it was quite a struggle because I got viral because I looked like Lofa. And so, you know, the comments, I wasn't prepared for any of
You
it.
didn't even see it
Absolutely
coming.
understood.
Yeah.
Did you see it coming though? Did you think that you
No.
looked alike and this might be
People said, I mean,
Right.
I thought it's just like, oh, muka macam Lofa. Tak ada apa pun kan.
Right.
And I was a child. I mean, a teenager. So, oh, ya ke? And then I tengok, oh, she's gorgeous. I mean, of course, you'd be flattered
Yeah.
kan?
Yeah.
But a week before my debut on TV9, dah viral. So, benda tu somehow kacau my people's perception, I would say. Sebab I receive comments like, oh, muka macam artis je terus dapat baca berita. Padahal we studied degree in journalism. And you didn't even plan to be on TV. Tak ada pun you betul-betul nak audition to be on TV. I'm not saying I'm not grateful,
No, we
but
understand.
but just
It wasn't planned.
yes. And then my followers at that time from I think 8,000, it spiked to 60,000 within days. At that time, I think it was easy to get followers.
Right.
And Instagram was quite new, I think. Kan.
Right.
So I wasn't really prepared for any of it to work and to receive comments and
within such
interviews.
a short span of
Yes,
time,
yes.
you weren't even able to develop yourself as like the
Yeah.
person in front of TV. Suddenly you're getting all these feedback.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you don't even know how to plan, how to make your mark.
Yeah.
Because it's already been made for you.
Yes.
Did you think that you had to do a lot of like clean up work before that to introduce who you are as Hawa?
I really don't remember.
Right.
But because it was so fast and everything at once, and then photo shoots for promo and interviews. So that was my first time ever press conference. And there were many journalists at that time, tu dekat Media Prima. And the questions was always about me looking like Lofa. And then all the headlines, I would say 99.9% of the headlines were her names. Nilofa's double, Keba Nilofa. So, tak best lah. I mean, we adore her as someone who is very successful. But, yelah, starting your career like that, oh, susahnya.
Right.
Susah to to get rid of that.
Right.
Yeah, nothing against Nilofa,
Of
kan,
course, of
but
Completely
course.
understand.
She was just brought into this situation. She had nothing to
yes,
do with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle for a few years. And then it was okay, I would say, because I did news and Kak Lofa dalam entertainment.
Yeah.
And then I joined Meletok.
Right.
So she did the show for 8 years,
Yes.
kan, since 2012
Yeah.
Right.
with Nabil. So that's another challenge.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. And I wanted to ask, right? Um, before, when the offer came to you, what made you say yes? Because you never wanted to be in the entertainment industry from the beginning. It was never part of your plan. But what made you say yes? Was it because you wanted to explore? Was it because you were a journalist from the beginning?
Yes, yes. I was doing more like serious shows. Wanita Hari Ini,
Yeah.
Hello Doctor, Bulletin FM,
Yeah.
Bulletin Utama. And suddenly, Meletop has been offering few times as their guest host whenever Kak Lofa tak ada or Kak Lofa dah berhenti. So bergila-gila lah apa celebrities yang
Yes,
join
correct,
Nabil
at one
for the
period,
show.
yeah.
Yeah. So they've offered me few times tapi tak boleh buat because of my exclusivity with Media Prima at that time. And then after a while I said, okay lah, try je lah.
Yeah, but what was the
What-
driving
yeah, why?
force?
I just want to try.
Right.
I just want to explore because I've been doing this for 5 years. I think I really want to try something new because I easily get bored. Okay, that's
Right.
another thing about me. Sports ke, I wouldn't say relationship, but sports.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Interest.
routine. I hate routine.
Right.
So I think, okay lah, try je lah. And then after a few episodes, Alhamdulillah, they offered to be their permanent host. And then I asked my father because my parents weren't really keen for me to
Join
the
entertainment.
entertainment industry. News is fine, they're fine.
Yeah.
But entertainment, it's different,
Different.
right? Different
Yeah.
game.
Different culture, different
Yes.
lifestyle. Everything is different.
Yeah.
Different demands, different needs. Yeah.
Yeah. But because with news, there are many restrictions. For example, commercials ke, you cannot berlakon because of the credibility. Yes.
Professionalism as well.
Sebab if you baca berita and then suddenly you berlakon watak yang tak kena,
Yeah.
contradicting to your
Image of
yes.
Right.
So come to think of it, reality speaking, it's the opportunities lah. If you're in the entertainment industry lagi banyak, but it's more competitive, I would say.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
yeah, kan now dengan ada ramai content creators
Yes.
who are good at hosting as well and acting. So ada pros and cons, but after discussing with my father, okay lah, just give it a try.
Right. And in your experience or like the number of years now being in the entertainment industry, have you ever experienced or felt like somebody was giving you a fake compliment?
I think that happened. But I don't really.
Take it to heart or take it personally?
Yes. Because this one time I gained 5 kilos. And gaining weight is my trigger lah sebenarnya. I mean, whenever people tegur, macam, oh, Hawa dah berisi sekarang. I've never shared this to any podcast or interviews before, but I was a bulimic.
Oh.
So whenever people cakap I've gained weight, I would
Right.
binge it and I would puke.
Wow.
Right.
And that's very unhealthy lah kan. And I overwork out. So okay, this one time I tried to stop lah, and then
Right.
I gained 5 kilos because busy kerja, you tak sempat nak workout, tidur tak cukup, stress,
Yeah.
and makan pun you balik rumah at late night and then makan, right? And this one time I realised I gained. Many people cakap I've gained. But this one person, Hawa kurusnya sekarang. Padahal and then waktu tu I rasa macam, are you just saying this? Yang tu I ingat lah because that was quite, that was the most recent yang I boleh ingat. So kadang-kadang macam, are you just saying it?
Yeah.
Kan?
Why do you think the person actually meant it? Like thought you were skinny? Why else?
I don't think so.
Why do you think?
I don't know.
No?
But yeah, I tak fikir why, but
Yeah.
it made me question. Macam, huh?
Your intentions.
So
Your
have
Yeah,
I gained
yeah.
or not, right?
Yeah.
Have I gained or have I not? Or what's the intention behind it? And were you professionally diagnosed? Being a
No.
bulimic, or
No.
these were
Yeah.
like the things that you probably like, was it like you researched about it because you were
I did
intentionally
research how to stop.
right?
Yeah.
And how did you discover that you had or you were bulimic? Because you didn't like gaining weight, or
Yes, yes.
and because you
Because
after eating you
it
tried
started in
to.
high school, surprisingly.
Oh.
oh, it goes way back.
Yes.
I would have assumed it was because now you're in front of the
No,
TV.
no, it started in high school.
Mm.
Because you know choral speaking?
Yeah.
Yang ramai-ramai itu
Yeah.
kan.
Yeah.
So there was this, we were talking about, I think body ke mental
Image?
health ke, I
Right.
think so. And ada script tu about bulimic. That's how I learned.
Right.
Instead of awareness, that's how I learned.
Ooh, here's
Yeah.
a
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
So ada this boy in my school, dia suka macam kacau-kacau lah, and dia cakap my pipi chubby, and then I wasn't that chubby, but then macam dia jadi trigger tau whenever people like pegang my lengan ke apa, I rasa macam am I fat? So on and off I would makan muntah, as kadang-kadang makan sikit pun I would puke.
But
So
it's
on
not
and
like an
off lah.
intentional trying to make yourself puke, right?
Intentional trying
intentional.
to make yourself
It
feel.
was intentional. Right.
And how did you?
Stop.
Yeah.
I think the people around me, like my cousin Zara and my previous manager,
Yeah.
they're very helpful.
Yeah.
And I would, because I keep it to myself for years, kan, until I realized, oh, this is so unhealthy, very stressful. And I would tell them lah, macam alah, orang cakap I gemuk lah, orang cakap I berisi lah, orang cakap my pipi naik lah, semua tu. And then whenever I puke, I would tell them, macam, oh, I just puke. And then they're worried, but
Yeah.
after a while, I mean, it's my support system, both of them, Najwa and Anati. So dari situlah I slowly kuat dekat sini,
Right.
and I stopped.
Before
Right.
that, were you already actively working out?
Yes, yes,
And you still were bulimic?
yes.
I see.
So
Yeah,
do-
on
would
and off,
you-
on and off.
Would you happen to know, like, do you remember the first time you ever experienced trying to make yourself puke?
I think it was in school.
And
I don't
then-
remember, but I think it was in school.
And you learned that from your choral speaking.
Yeah.
The existence
Okay,
of you.
I mean, my teacher wasn't watching
No,
this,
of
but,
course
but
not.
in a way, like,
yeah, it's how you receive information. lah, kan?
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad to know that it's over and now you're in a healthier mind and space.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I appreciated that.
View, view, view.
I think like it's very important to have like that awareness, and for you perhaps like in the past you didn't know, and there's always like an underlying reason for why that had to happen.
Yeah.
So because it was like a it's like a protection,
Yeah.
it's like a defense mechanism, because maybe the kids in school were
Yeah.
like, you know, they probably didn't intentionally even want to hurt you.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Even
sometimes
now.
our the way we receive things, right?
Yeah.
Because like for me, we had this one episode on beauty, and I never questioned my beauty growing up because I grew up in Australia on a farm with animals around me, so nobody had to compare me with another woman. They could
Yeah.
compare me to a sheep. Obviously, I'm better looking, right? So it's like I never had to go through that a beauty phase. And then I realized that when I was in a relationship, I was often questioning my own beauty
Oh no.
because I was compared to other women. I was compared to women in the industry. I was compared to how we look with and without makeup. And I thought like this, for me, it developed when I became an actress. Because prior to becoming an actress, I worked at a bank. Again, beauty was not really a requirement. Sedap mata mandang is great, you'll get the job, but then it
Yeah.
wasn't a requirement to get a position in a
Yes.
company. In corporate, it doesn't work that way. It's your credibility, it's your education background, and stuff like that. But in the entertainment industry, it's always how do you look first.
Yeah.
Your body, your body image, your your makeup, your style. These were the requirements to become an actress. So I thought I started questioning my own beauty to a point that I almost got fillers. And I thought like, okay, I gotta fix my lips, I gotta fix my cheeks, I gotta fix, my eyebrows, and there were so many things to fix. And when I was in this consultation, I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Long term, like really think about it. So I started working on the inside, asking myself, where is this coming from? Why am I questioning my own beauty? And like for you, have you gone through that phase of like questioning yourself, like, why am I trying to be skinny? Or why am I receiving these comments as something that's negative? Perhaps they were saying that, oh, you look chubby, you look cute. Perhaps it was a compliment. Perhaps it wasn't even something negative to put you down. But why were you receiving it that way? Would you happen to know?
Because I think I has always been skinny. I mean,
Growing up.
growing up. And then whenever macam naik sikit je.
Because your body changes.
Yes,
as you
that's the
age,
thing. Yeah. And then now reaching 30.
Right.
Kan. And this one time, this was quite recent lah, around last year, I gained. And these three men cakap, Hawa dah berisi sekarang ni. Hari tu jumpa kurus je. And then man tu, guy number two said, itulah Hawa dah tak jogging dah kot sekarang. And I was the only girl there.
Right.
And the other guy cakap, Bila lepas ni kena berlakon jadi perempuan gemuk je. Then bulimic happened. Because I dah stop.
That's the trigger.
Yes. And then almost every day I eat and puke.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So do you think if the person gave you a fake compliment, this
Would it
wouldn't have
have helped?
happened?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Because we were talking about fake compliments kan. I mean, we are talking about it. Tadi pun I terfikir juga, what if people compliment, benda tu akan buat kita more confident. But like you said, like the way they said it.
Betul.
Macam,
Unless they're
are you
damn good
sincere?
actor, yeah.
Yeah. Macam, are you sincere? If it sounds sincere, okay. But sometimes macam, dah ni lah, dah kurus sekarang. Macam, okay, maybe it's just a small thought ke. Yeah.
But they don't know how much it can impact a person. Kan?
Yes,
So
yes.
let me just rephrase the question. If they told you this but in a more nicer way, would you think bulimic would have still happened?
Tell me
Instead of
that
like
I
just
gained.
insulting you, instead of saying like, oh maybe you can do this and all that so you'll be healthier, rather than dah gemuk dah, lepas ni kena berlakon gemuk je. Instead of being so harsh that way, if they were nicer about it, do you think it would change the outcome of you?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
If someone shares it with love.
Yeah, because there are many pun, like, for example, kalau you ada 100 comments on IG, that one negative comment yang
Betul,
ni in
stay
your head
betul.
kan.
Yeah.
So ramai je yang cakap, oh Hawa, you look more healthy, more fit. Dulu you were too
Right.
skinny, now dah macam dah ada
Like a real
muscle.
woman lah, like a healthy body, not
Yes.
scrawny, yeah.
Because I've been doing sports and I makan normal kan. So okay lah kan. I no more bulimic.
Yeah.
But benda tu buat I rasa macam, oh okay, bestnya. But bila orang cakap, oh dah berisi sekarang. So I
Kinda
cried in the
triggered.
car. I cried
Yeah.
right away.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it was a trigger. However, my perspective is that from this conversation, right, my observation is that one, they don't know what you're going through.
Yeah.
That's why like it's so important for us to be aware of what we're saying and how we're saying it.
Yeah.
You don't know what people are
Yeah.
going through. You never know how they would receive that compliment or fake compliment or comment.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, like for me, I don't support fake compliments because for me, instead of giving a fake compliment, find something beautiful about the person to give them.
Exactly.
Correct. There's always something.
I
There's
agree.
always something about that person that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why do you have to look at their body image? Why do you have to comment on their body image? You don't know what they're going through. Why not you talk about her complexion? She's glowing.
Exactly.
Speak about that.
Yeah,
Speak
betul.
about her recent work. Speak about her recent achievement. There's so many
There's
things
a
you could
nomination.
compliment
There's
a
so many
person.
things apart from just
But
a
it's always
physical.
body, looks.
Exactly.
Yang
Yes.
ni kan. I read this one book, How to Talk to Anyone. It's in my brother's room pasal I ambil, interesting. So it said, kalau you nak start a small talk or you nak attract someone's attention, compliment them, but don't give fake compliments. Dia kata if you cannot compliment about their looks, compliment about their baju ke.
Character, personality.
Yes,
There's so many
yes.
things you could
Yeah, like you
compliment.
said just now.
And with that, I would like to apologize on our first encounter for saying that
No, that's
you
a
look like
compliment.
BFS twin. Yeah, but
That's a
it just came
compliment.
out because I was like, that was my first up close look, and I was like, and I've met Carlo for a few times,
Yes,
so
yes,
I was like,
yes.
oh my goodness,
Aw,
that is.
no, to say I look like someone that gorgeous, I'm flattered.
But you have
Yes.
Yeah.
so much more than just that.
Aw,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
So for me, when I saw you on the news and then when I saw you in several interviews, I was like, wow, this girl has so much more to offer.
Aw.
Yeah. And I really hope that people see that in you. I really hope that people would open their, it would broaden their perspective towards you, because I feel like you have so much more to offer.
Aw,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, because
I'm into that.
your intellectual side,
Yep.
you know, the intellectual side of Hawa Rizwana, that's what we should focus on.
Yeah.
Aw,
And
thank
your
you.
people skill as well. I'm sure you know that. So on that note, like it cannot be denied that it did start that way. The initial stardom of fame
Yeah.
started from like this viral thing, right? But over along the lines, of course, you have to build your own identity, which you did. So apart from just that, your accomplishment and all which you have built, how did you create your own beauty? Because more over time, you don't hear the story about the doppelganger story anymore. It's starting to be now more about Hawa Rizwana.
Exactly.
And it's so difficult because we all started not being compared to people, but you already had such a high benchmark.
Yeah.
How did you over time start creating your own beauty?
It's not easy, I would
Yeah,
say.
I can imagine.
Yeah, because to be compared to someone, I mean,
One of
we're
the most popular people in Malaysia.
yes,
Cannot be
kan.
doubted. Yeah.
I mean, I've met her waktu tu for Nelofa punya Raya campaign. I was one of the face and I worked with her, and waktu tu tengah bersiap in a room lah, semua girls kan, and she buka her niqab and then she was so gorgeous, and then dalam hati aku nampak macam ni ke? Macam, are they sure? Are they blind?
You were subconsciously
Ha, macam,
comparing yourself.
aku nampak macam ni ke? Lawak gila. Okay.
Okay, hey girl twin.
Yeah. But to develop my own identity,
Yes.
ada this one face yang I tak tahu Hawa Rizwana ni apa.
Yeah.
Just now earlier you asked about transitioning kan, transition from news to entertainment, and sorry I tak sempat jawab tadi.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy because news is all serious and straightforward.
Yeah.
And for example, you don't say macam korang nak buat apa. We say, okay, kalau anda diberikan, we don't say viral. We say tulak ataupun viral, right? So it was so hard because 5 tahun buat news and to entertainment, and my co-host is Nabil Ahmad, who has been in the
Most
industry.
spontaneous.
Yes. And he has been in the industry for 15 years.
Right.
And that's my first show ialah meletak yang Niloufar dah bawa ke peringkat atas kan. So I was compared to this amazing hosts such as Ellie Mazlin, Kak Lina Wampom, Sherry Al-Haddad, Jihan. So this 3 hosts lah yang kalau perempuan yang I was compared to, and I was so hard on myself. Netizen was hard on me as well. They compared me to Niloufar. Of course lah, meletak kan. It was so hard. And I just overthink, and I was really hard on myself. But I would say the people around me sangat-sangat supportive. But Alhamdulillah with shows from Astro juga, I think last year I kind of discovered myself to differentiate me from other hosts.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm more physical, outdoor. I am schema. I am like,
Yeah, and own it.
I'm not a comedian.
I am schema too.
Yay!
I'm the documentary girl people don't want to be
Right.
friends with or have a conversation with, because I would go to like an event and then suddenly they're like, why are we getting so deep and serious? I'm like, I'm
Start
sorry.
borak about where your sampah came from.
Yeah.
Coolnya.
Yeah, I know everything about Sampai in Malaysia. I could do a whole documentary and nobody wants to hear it.
Because we always
Rubbish
jumpa dekat events kan, tapi tak sempat nak sembang
Yeah.
sangat,
Yeah.
right? Where was
Yeah,
I?
so going back to the topic of
Yeah.
you finding your
Ah,
own.
Yeah,
yes.
so you found yourself last year.
Yeah, okay, growing up,
schema.
my father tak bagi buat any sports. My parents were super protective. In a way, I'm grateful jugalah.
Yes.
But sometimes, alah, semua benda tak boleh buat. Dancing je
And
boleh.
you're the only girl
I know.
in the
Protected.
family.
Yeah. So now baru dapat buat cycling, boxing, hiking, semua itulah. So last year lah, Real Man Malaysia Wira Merah. It's a reality show.
Oh, I watched that.
Yeah, yeah ke?
Yeah, I mean
Thank
the
you.
snippets of it on like
Yes.
social media. I didn't watch it on Astro. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is this the one that Haris Anwar was on?
No.
No, this one was like Bella. Bella was there.
Jasmine Soraya.
Jasmine Soraya. Oh, this
I,
one
I
was it
had
with
3 bomba shows.
Ah,
Different
so I'm
productions, semua
confused,
nak
right?
jadi bomba. I don't know why. The first one was Real Man Malaysia Wira Merah. So it's a reality
Right.
show yang we go through training as a bomba
Right.
for 1 month dekat Akademi Bomba Terengganu. And then Kinabalu. Kinabalu was an ad shoot for Astro Fiber. And then I went to New Zealand for half marathon. I never planned to do that.
New Zealand.
Yeah, it was
Have you climbed Mount Kinabalu yet?
yes,
Oh
in
my
August last year.
goodness.
Yeah, so semua tu tak plan pun, but in a way I discovered myself.
Wow.
Yang okay, this is me. So dari situ pun meeting dengan management, diorang pun cakap okay dah jumpa dah. Because we've been looking for my identity lah for quite some time. So benda ni you tak boleh nak paksa, you tak boleh nak macam
You're so demure. So
Yeah,
we
tak
wouldn't
sangka.
think
Oh,
that
ya
you're
ke?
like a
Yeah.
hardcore
Like a
physical
feisty
activity
girl
kind
inside.
of girl.
Yeah.
Boxing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, she does boxing. Wow.
I think because tak dapat buat dulu. I've always wanted to do it. And with my brothers pun main bola sepak. But then dekat sekolah main bola jaring ke apa, my parents tak bagi. So I think benda geram tu yang buat I,
Right. That you want to just.
Right.
yeah. So
That's
much anger.
No, but do you think also that helped in completely curing your penyakit before this or bulimic? Because
Yes.
you had an outlet now to really go all out.
Betul,
Right?
betul. Yeah, boxing is because I'm not good at being angry at people depan-depan or
Right.
some
Keep
people.
it.
Sorry.
You keep it instead of defending
Yeah.
yourself.
So some people they're good at bukan marah but then to voice out and people listen and being firm. I'm not really good at that.
Right.
So bila rasa marah ke with the comments or rasa disappointed with kerja ke apa, that's how I
That's
think
your
vent.
outlet.
Yeah.
Wow. Now coming back to beauty, right? Because we are in an industry where beauty is everything. Although talent is always secondary, and now we have a completely different dynamic. Number one is your followers. Number two is
Yes.
beauty. You've already achieved the first one, and two, of course, you naturally have, and three, then is your talent, which is
No doubt,
undeniable.
yeah.
Like it's no doubt for the
Alah.
both of us. We know you inside out now. But I want to touch on beauty. Like growing up, have you ever been associated to being beautiful? Apa ni? Before being associated to someone who is senior to you, Kak Lofa, who's obviously naturally beautiful as much as you are. But were you ever associated to beauty growing up, and how did you discover your own beauty?
I think growing up, I didn't really care much about my looks and fashion semua. I think lah.
When was the first time you started your skincare routine, your makeup, your, semua tu?
Bila dah masuk industri.
Same.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common.
Late
Yeah.
bloomers a bit.
Yeah. Late bloomers in terms of beauty.
Yes, macam masuk Sephora pun when I was dah start kerja lah. Contact lens semua was waktu audition because rabun. And then you cannot wear glasses. So memang kena pakai contact lens. Sephora, I masuk Sephora when I was 22.
Okay, you're better than me then. I masuk Sephora probably 26.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very. You can ask her how I do my makeup. Bronzer kat sini.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm
But yeah lah, that's how
we
we...
kat tepi.
That's
orang
how we
kat
start
tengah
lah
tengah.
kan.
kan? Dengan tak pakai primer, tak pakai moisturizer.
Yeah, have no idea.
Yeah. And I was a journalist and anchor waktu tu. Okay lah, lantaklah makeup artist yang buat,
Correct.
stylist yang buat. Tak reti nak mix and match pun. And then off camera, I pakai sneakers. And then I pakai my gym clothes to work. And then brands pun macam-macam lah. And then my boss cakap, apa ni kasut brand A, seluar brand B, baju brand ni. Kan people always pakai one brand je semua kan head to toe. Waktu tu I was very, tak kisah pun.
Right.
During uni pun I pakai whatever. Lipstick was considered dah pakai makeup lah.
Right.
Lipstick was considered heavy makeup dah. Until my boss lah, dia laki, Datuk Manja, I remember, kau ni apa ni, pakai ni brand lain, brand lain, brand lain. And then he said, bagi size kau aku belanja. Dia tak belanja pun. But suddenly, yelah kita pergi events, kerja dah baca berita kat
Yeah.
TV3.
Yeah.
You pergi events, handbag pun tak kisah. Tapi you see all these content creators, influencers pakai all these designer bags, makeup
Celebrities,
cantik.
yeah.
Yeah. And people take them seriously.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And then people around me juga lah cakap, Hawa, you should have at least a designer bag. Because bukan apa, but just to cakap your status lah. So people take you seriously. So my ex-manager sebut tu. So people around me juga lah, tukarlah phone Hawa, sampai bila nak pakai iPhone 7. So in a way, I mean it's good. Sebab kalau tak, sampai bila orang nak buat you main-main, right? So I realised bila pakai elok je, people really do take you seriously.
Because
Yeah,
it's
because
a
we
way you
are-
are. Yeah.
We are in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I, for the longest time, was in denial because I thought like I'll push my talent forward. I'll push my talent forward. I'll push my PR forward. But if you don't look the part,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get it.
Betul.
You have to look the part. Then I started taking myself seriously. I said, you know what? I have to dress up. I have to learn about these brands that are making it in the fashion industry. I have to learn about local designers. I have to learn about
Yes.
what's the latest trend in makeup. I have to learn. And I did.
Yeah.
Because I thought, like, you know what? And I would go to a meeting in the past, right? And we're talking about like whether it's film, production, commercial, any meeting, and I'm about to be like an ambassador to a brand. I would go in my gym attire, no makeup, and I thought because I'm pushing my talent forward.
Yeah.
But often, 9 out of 10 times, I get rejected, and then I question why I get rejected. Even when I go to a casting, I get rejected. So this one time, I actually went for a casting with a production, very big production in Malaysia, and I dressed the part. So this was for Noor too. So if to those who
Ooh.
didn't know, I went for casting for the supporting actress dalam Noor 2. Her name is I cannot recall her name now, but it's very close to my name. So anyway, she's a prostitute. I looked the part. I dressed as a prostitute. And I was one of the top 3s, but in the end, TV station selected someone else, which she was very deserving of it, of the role. And I realized that I was taken seriously because I looked the part.
Yeah.
So no matter what, even your talent cannot help you if you don't look the part.
But you
You
already
have
need to
to.
give them the imagination
Exactly.
of the
Yeah.
character. In fact, our first time that we acted together, Salon, the producer there told me the moment you enter a casting, always look the part. That guarantees you
Exactly.
80% of being
Ah.
in the top 3, literally.
And guess what? In
Yeah.
Salon, I went for casting for the supporting role,
Right.
not for the lead. But I showed up as the lead. I dressed up as the lead. I moved and walked and talked as the lead. And I got the lead part.
Wow.
So it's very powerful. And
Kan
that's...
you have to, and it builds your confidence as
Yes,
well.
and you know what? Back then we always used to compare why men don't do it, why women should do it. Now you have it, both do it.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, men pun kena pakai makeup juga.
Betul.
And I think it's just fair because it's your job to look presentable. Your people are watching you. You have to take certain initiatives to take care of yourself. So we don't have to go too much of like heavy makeup ke apa lah, right?
Betul.
But what is like if there's one thing for you for beauty, what would it be? Like what's the most important element for you to take care of your beauty?
Oh, hygiene.
hygiene.
Hygiene, yeah.
Sure. For me, it would be skincare.
Ah.
Skincare before makeup. Because for me, I feel like when my
Betul lah.
skin is a bit
Hygiene lah,
dry,
clean skin juga.
yes, clean skin. So, as a pharmacist,
Yeah.
Sanchina, I would really love to know what is the number one priority when it comes to skincare.
Well, just like how you shouldn't buy skincare from like a pet shop owner or something, right? I mean, I think like if you're gonna buy something like for your skin, it should be from a professional, like a doctor or a dermatologist. For me, I feel like skincare is all about being clean, hygiene,
Fragility,
basically.
yeah.
Because our skin may not need too much. Just give the basics of just washing it and hydrating it. Pun dah cukup.
Removing your makeup with the right steps.
Betul, hygiene of that. Because right now, obviously, skincare and all that is such a competitive industry. It's one of the most
Absolutely.
competitive industries in the whole
Yes.
world. But when you think about what you really need, is basically, obviously, you put makeup, you kena cuci. Lepas you cuci, you kena tone, and last but balance kan your pH balik.
Yeah.
And lepas tu, you nak moisturize. And what would you go for? You would go for like fragrance-free products,
Yes.
dermatological, tested and
Non-com.
comedogenic,
Yes.
betul. All these kind of things that will not make your skin worse, but just give it the nutrients that it needs.
Exactly.
And I feel that itself is creating your own beauty. Going back to basics, taking care of yourself, not just one whole body, that soap on
Yeah.
your face.
Exactly.
Yeah, that doing that minimum thing already can make such a big impact.
Exactly. So I'm definitely in a good place because I
Yeah.
use Clinique, and I absolutely love their moisturizer.
Oh, me too. I love the pink one.
Me too.
Yes.
I'm using that. We have a lot in common.
I use
Like,
that too.
girl.
Because it's gel kind.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it has like 100-hour hydration. Did you know this?
Yes,
Yet
yes,
it locks
yes.
in moisturize.
Yeah,
And
because
it
my skin is very
moisturizes.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
So-
can give you some after
Yeah,
this.
Yay.
we have a lot to
And,
give
and you know what? If you don't use too much of thick makeup, even their cleansing balm, the purple
Yep.
color one, I swear, I don't even use facial wash anymore.
Yep.
That in shower already makes my
Yes.
skin feel so supple and
Me
clean.
too.
It's just about clean products lah.
Exactly.
The older I am now, right? Dulu I macam
You're
rajin
not
gila
old.
beli. I mean, the wiser.
As I age.
Yeah, from 22 to 23. Like I feel like back then I rajin gila. Apa-apa yang orang post, I nak beli semua.
Yeah.
All the active ingredients, this new ingredient lah. Now my skin cannot take any of it. Bintik-bintik, biji-biji semua keluar.
Yeah.
It's just about cleaning.
Betul.
Yeah.
Actually, hygiene is the right word. I didn't think
And
about
for
it.
me, right, Clinique, I feel like it's very basic. It goes back to the basic, and it creates your because we were talking about like if we can create our beauty, right? How would we do it differently? And for Clinique, what I love about them is like they curate something that is specifically for you.
I do 1, 2, 3, right?
Exactly.
That was actually my first ever skincare tau.
Me too.
Really?
Me too. Yeah,
Apart
because
from
my friends.
drugstore was my first one.
Yeah.
Okay, getting into this, I love this topic because skincare to me is very new. So I had to learn a lot of different things, what and what not to do, and I realized like only with like clean ingredients, my skin doesn't break out, and it's getting better. And you know what's the best part? People tell me like you look so fresh,
Ah, bestnya.
and it's
That's the
because of
best
skincare.
compliment.
Yeah.
And not only that, I incorporated mindfulness into skincare. So I want to get into this conversation with you girls. How do you create your own beauty? Like for me, it's skincare and implementing mindfulness into my skincare, knowing that because we were talking about, your bulimic experience and then your career experience and advancement, which is so inspiring. And I feel that my journey really came full circle when I got to know myself on the inside, my inner work.
Yeah.
Nothing can bring me down as long as I know myself. So if
Yes.
someone were to give me a fake compliment or if they were to give me false positivity, I know myself better to know that that's not the truth. I know the truth.
Yeah.
And it's through my skincare routine, my daily skincare routine, whether it's at night or in the morning before I go to work. I always include my mindfulness practice. I always remind myself of who I am.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, me. I think first is enough sleep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I get cranky whenever tak cukup tidur tau.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's priority.
Yeah, and water and working out. Sebab the glow after you work out.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think those three, and then skincare, and then makeup, and sorry, we were talking about
How you can create your beauty? What would you do differently if you were able to create your version of beauty?
Yeah.
my own version. I think my habit. Yeah, because at late night kan sometimes you scroll into phone dekat your phone semua tu kan, and then yalah tak cukup tidur. So I think even my photographer pun, because he take my photo every show during meletop ke any events, so he told my cousin lah, dia cakap, oh Hawa kalau dia cukup tidur and cukup rest, skin dia nampak very glowing. Yeah, kalau tak cukup tidur, tak cukup rest, memang nampak dry.
It's very obvious. It's true.
Right.
Nampak tak bermaya. Then
Yeah.
there might be some lines here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I realized that, oh, okay, memang kena cukup rest, cukup water, and working out. You know the glow after working out?
Of course.
Kan macam very fresh.
Yeah.
And then the blood flows.
Yeah.
Semua berseri-seri.
Yeah.
Cute, pink-pink.
Betul.
Yeah.
So kalau call time pagi tu awal sangat, I really hate it sebab macam, apa, the morning muka
The
sebab
dry
tu.
and the
Yeah.
lines. Yeah.
So kalau kau tahu lambat sikit, you dapat workout sekejap, or you sing in the shower ke, or you kelam kabut cari baju. That's a workout juga yang boleh keep the
Release
blood
endorphins a bit lah.
and that too.
Right.
And water. To me, that's the basic of it.
Yeah.
Skincare, definitely. Because dulu, I tak rasa it's very important to put on moisturizer.
Oh no.
Sunscreen.
That is
That's
so
literally the two
me.
things, the most important things.
Kan?
Those two, yeah.
Yeah.
And then now it's primer kalau nak pakai makeup. So
Yeah.
now it's very well prepped, and then I wait for 1 minute, and then another skincare routine, and then another 1 minute. Tapi you have to be early lah. Oh,
Yalah.
and timing.
Yeah.
Because dulu I was so bad with timing.
Time management.
Yeah. Kalau orang cakap pukul 2 baru sampai, and then parking lah, blah, 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 2:30. So now I just
You
realised.
were on time today.
Yeah.
You were
Oh,
on
ya
the
ke?
dot. Yeah.
I tried.
On the
I was 5 minutes late actually. Lepas tu, yelah, I just realised, kena siap 2 hours actually. Because dari atas nak turun bawah rumah.
Sometimes we like give discount to our time. Tak lah,
Yeah,
I cepat
yeah,
je.
yeah.
An hour je. Tapi tak ingat nak pakai baju, nak pilih baju, pilih
Iron.
kasut. For me, pilih accessories.
My
Yes.
goodness,
Stands up.
I'm the best with time management then because I prepare
Yeah, true though.
so much.
Yeah.
Like if I had a shoot, I'm prepared with my look. I'm already ironing it a day before.
Bagus
My
lah.
script is ready a day before. I am always, my prep is insane. I think Sanjana got a meltdown because of my prep.
Ya ke?
I think at first, yes. Yeah. I like it. I like we're very yin and yang that way. I learn a lot from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And aren't you happy with all my prep?
I am.
Say it on camera. Yeah.
I am very happy for Julia's prep. Okay, now I pula nak create beauty boleh tak?
Okay, of course.
Okay,
Please
now my turn to
share.
create beauty because I love beauty. I feel like I'm a beauty
She
enthusiast.
eats, breathes, drinks. Fart,
Yeah,
poop,
I want to be
beauty.
like, I just love beauty lah. Sebab actually growing up, my backstory was I used to kena bully a lot.
Why?
I had a really late glow up compared to me, like compared to my sister and my mom. They were so beautiful already, but I was very kusam because I was playing a lot of sports.
Okay.
I was really tall at already like from.
I've seen the
How
before.
tall is...
So now I'm 170. Tapi I was already 168 when I was 13 years old.
Okay lah.
Tapi babe,
It's
and
considered
dalam
tall.
my surname
Then-
Like too
Sanjana-
tall.
Yeah.
Oh.
170 is like 5'7". So I was almost 5'6" at 13 years old when all the boys were so kecil. And then my hair would grow upwards, bukan downwards. Afro upwards. I don't know, defying gravity.
Okay, okay,
Like
okay.
it's like Simpsons punya rambut tau.
Aw.
So I used to kena bully a lot and my best friend was very cantik. So I was always motivated by beauty. I thought like, I selalu kena macam tinggal, I was bahan ejekan, I became the funny girl because I wasn't pretty. So for me, at one point, beauty was everything. And I macam, one day I'll be beautiful. But long story short, now I am where I am. I feel confident in my skin. My beauty...
Super gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank
and you
you.
get compliments everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Now, yes, it took a while, but I feel like now that I'm confident in my own skin and I'm no longer all about that heavy look and all that, for me, creating my beauty is really going back to basics, like what you all said. Sleep is so important. For me, it's also nutrition.
Your routine.
Your
yeah.
routine, yes, and nutrition. Sebab,
And laughs.
yeah, which is all from within lah, basically.
Yeah.
When you create from within, betul-betul it will nampak kat
It will
luar.
shine
Yeah.
effortlessly.
Yes, and the days yang tak cukup tidur tu, like Clinique's 100-hour moisturizer tu, letak je lah.
Yeah,
It's
magic.
I tidur.
Magic.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It's
but just
absolute
going back to
magic.
basics lah.
Yeah.
Eating right, good skincare, and yeah, good makeup too. Skincare, makeup, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, so to conclude our conversation today, which was very inspiring from Hawa,
Aww. Hopefully.
I would really love to hear like what would your advice be for the young girls out there who is still finding themselves? We're all late bloomers.
Yeah.
Yes.
All three of us.
Yes,
we have
we
one
are.
thing in common on this episode.
Kesiannya kita.
Yeah, but look at where we are today. We finally there, and it's although it's always a conditioning that it's a rat race, but I'm comfortable with my progress, with the
In your own
phases that I had to go through.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice for the young girls listening to you?
We were there. We were 16 where we felt insecure juga looking at other girls in high school or dekat uni. Uni I wasn't even bothered. Tapi in high school, I would say 16 and 17 was the age yang you felt lost, and you tend to compare yourself to others. Your looks, family, semua kan. And what I would love to tell my younger self or to young girls out there, it is okay to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really okay to be different, because yang tu lah yang someday will make you who you are, differentiate you from others. And be truthful, be true to yourself. And remember that whatever you do, if you have the best intention, if your intention is for example, if you work or you study, ke you belajar, ke you exam for the sake of God, your parents, your family, then everything will be okay. Whatever happen pun, if you know your intention is good, is pure, then it is okay. You can go through whatever in life. It all goes back to your intention.
That is a
beautiful.
beautiful
Thank you,
message.
Hui.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Hawa.
thank you.
Do you want to add anything, son?
I love everything that you said, but what really resonated with me was how you said you found yourself after doing all these challenging activities.
At the age of 28.
Yeah, and I feel like for me too, like even Julia knows this, like sometimes when it gets too heavy or intense, I kind of want to run away. But when I don't, and when I take it one step at a time, is when I find more of my purpose. I think we're still forever going to find our purpose. We don't
Yeah.
have it
Always
figured
gonna
out.
evolve.
Correct.
Okay, now we know like
Yes.
our X factor, ke, our
Yeah,
identity.
this
We might
one we
lost
like
it.
her, we don't like her, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I think like it reminds me again, Sanjna, whenever it gets scary, go for it.
Yeah.
The more it's gonna be challenging you, going out your comfort zone, go for it, because that's how you found your identity and you
Betul.
created your own
Yeah.
beauty.
Yeah.
So that's very inspiring too.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
I'm sorry, my prep really, really like gave you a meltdown.
No, it wasn't you. You know, it
But,
wasn't a prep.
Of course.
It was a lot
I
more.
was just
than that.
joking.
Yeah.
But I honestly, from this episode, from this sharing, right, I honestly, I feel like I learned a lot this week, this entire week, like with this podcast, with all the conversations we had with all these inspiring, strong, intelligent women. I feel like I'm glad I became myself.
Yeah.
I'm glad I really found myself. And I'm glad that I never try to change myself to be accepted or to fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like on this podcast, I still became myself. Like I still want to do research. I still want to do like my opening with all these facts,
Yeah.
you know? And
That's make you different.
yeah,
That's Julia.
That's just me. And I don't try to change myself just to be accepted. Yeah. So to you or to the ones listening, to the ones watching us, if you ever experienced false positivity, went through it, don't be so hard on yourself, but identify it. Know that it's coming from somewhere and it's begging you to see so that you can release it. And to people who give you fake compliments, I would say just husnuzon je.
Yeah.
Yeah, husnuzon. Think of it as maybe they were trying to be nice, but they didn't know how to. Maybe they were trying to tegur, but don't know how to.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
that
they
was
were
the only way.
nervous.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So work on yourself and always give back without expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're not wearing sunscreen. You do know repeated sun exposure with little to no protection is going to cause damage to elastin, collagen, and skin cells. Do you know what that means?
But Julia, tennis was your idea.
Wearing sunscreen every day will prevent inflammation from UV rays.
But Julia, swimming was your idea.
Not without sunscreen. It is clean, uses plant-based ingredients, and good for all skin, especially sensitive skin. Your makeup with SPF is not enough. You have to use a lot more makeup to actually reach the label SPF. Use this. Its hydrating formula is going to give you a very dewy base. Trust me!
Julia, leave me alone.
No! Please, sun protection factor SPF protects you from a specific ultraviolet light called UVB.
But Julia, most of the sunscreen makes my skin sticky and I look grey.
Not Melissa. It is invisible with no white cast or a greasy residue. Won't leave your skin grey either. This is the vegan Airfit sunscreen with SPF 50+. This invisible ultralight facial sunscreen protects the skin from UV rays and pollution. Infused with nutrient-rich kale extract, the plant-derived formula delivers SPF 50+ protection while helping to moisturize and soothe the skin. The non-greasy, fast-absorbing texture keeps the skin hydrated with a matte finish.
You either wear this or haunt you for the rest of your life.
I agree.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Hawa.
you.
for
Thank you for
being on this
having me.
It's an
podcast.
honor to have you.
Finally, this happened, right?
Yes, finally.
And you got to be on our first season.
Yay!
So we're so happy. And we really hope everyone who's listening out there would enjoy this. And if you are watching us on YouTube, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment in the comment section below because we'd love to have a conversation with you.
Yay.
And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and also X because we would love to connect with you. Till the next time.
Bye.